I'm here. Use me. Here am I. Jesus calls you, say, yes, Lord, gladly, and you cry at the altar, and Lord, thank you for your mercy, and thank you for calling me, and I'll give you my life, and I'll do this, and I'll do this, and I'll do this, and I'll do this. And the next thing you know, he puts you on the shelf and ignores you. That's test number one. Why does he do that? Come on. Very simple. He's looking at your motives. He's checking your motives. The minute you go through this time test, that's the time that God begins to purify the motives inside of you. You will face trials and tribulations and difficulties where you will have to rely on the promises. Things will hit you hard, and there'll be nowhere else to go but the Bible. That's called the work test. In other words, suddenly disastrous things happen. Suddenly you are persecuted, or you are tried by your family, or neglected by your parents, or accused falsely. And what you got to do, and this only place to go, God will see, where will they go when these troubles begin? Will they go away from me, or will they come closer to me? God will put you through a season where the Word is the only place you can turn to. You will be tested on your ability to serve. I call that the servant's test. God will put you in a place to see, are you willing to serve another man? Everybody wants to serve God. We have to serve another pastor, another ministry, before we can be chosen by God. God watches how do you treat his servants before he can even choose you. You say, well, how long will my test last? As long as it takes to get the world out of you. God will get the world out of your system. I have no interest in this world, I promise you. I don't enjoy a thing about it. We have to be lights in this world, yes, but have no fellowship with it. God will put you through the wilderness to get the world out of you, to get Egypt out of you, to strip you out of the things you enjoyed that this world gave you. And it means a time of difficulty, a time when God will purify your very being. And in those times you'll have no choice but to seek God. And I believe the wilderness test is what will force prayer on your life. That is the most important test you'll go through. You're already in that called season, you're serving the man of God and such things like that. And you will begin to question, when is my time coming? I've served this man for the last 10 years of my life. I've been faithful, I've been steady, I've been steadfast, I've been there for him. I've given up family, I've given up my time with my children, I've given up Thanksgivings, and I've given up Christmases, and I've given up blah, 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 blah. And suddenly what hits them is, I've given so much up for that man, what do I get back for it? That season is called patience. You must prove you're a patient man. Prove it to God. You're going to wait till your time comes. This is not your time. This is his time. As long as he's ministering, it's not your time yet. You're not going to take off on him when he's still ministering.
Pastor Benny's comprehensive teaching on preparation for ministry is available to you on 2 CDs, which include material not shown on This Is Your Day. Later in the program, he'll share how you can receive your own copies. But now let's join the audience at the Dallas Convention Center as Pastor Benny concludes his teaching.
Number 6 is a most remarkable season. I'll call it frustration time. You will become so frustrated with your life. You'll stand and look at that man on the platform serving God. You'll see the anointing on him. You've given 10 years, 15 years. You've gone through the test of time and the test of the word and the test of service, and just you've done such a great job at all these, but now your body begins to ache. Your mind gets tired. And the older that man of God becomes, the tougher he will become on you. That's just the way it is. You will go through frustration, and God will watch how you handle it. Paul the Apostle went through that frustration in 2 Corinthians 11 himself. We all go through that. And gives us the answer in 2 Corinthians 4 where he says, don't put your eyes on the natural, put your eyes on heavenly things. Number 7. There will be times, before God will ever choose you, there will be times you will be discouraged to the limit you'd want to die. Discouragement is a part of the season before God ever will choose a man. You'll get to the place where you get so discouraged, like Elijah, you'll say, it's better to just quit right now. I don't want to go on anymore. I can't handle it. I cannot handle the time, the travels, the wear and tear on my body. I cannot handle the unpredictable man that I can't figure out. One day is this, one day is that. I can't handle this. I've given up this, blah, 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 blah. And you get to the place, you get so discouraged. That's just a part of the process. If I am discouraging you from the ministry, it's because you're not called. But if you're called, you'll stick with it. And the people said, why does God allow discouragement? To help you refocus on the call. It's the reason. You focus back on the call when you're discouraged. Frustration comes that you might re-examine your priorities. Discouragement comes that you might refocus on the call of God. Did you hear that? Number 8. You were almost there. You're almost chosen by now. Number 8. The devil never takes vacations. Before God ever chooses you, the devil will attack you. Therefore, you'll go through a season called war. The war test. This is where God will test your fighting abilities. Because if you can't win prior to your being chosen, you're going to lose on the other end. You got to win the war prior to serving the Lord, prior to being in your own ministry. Why the warfare? You develop your spiritual weapons during that season. You begin to develop your spiritual weapons. You begin to develop your warfare abilities. I went through that right prior God anointed my life. I can take you to the place, to the spot.